Well, the Sorcerer's Robe apprentice is quite magical, but I think it's time for something a little more stylish, you know? Well, now that is a bit more like it, you know? Very, very magical indeed. Hello, welcome back, and yeah, we're gonna do a Lorcana organizing video. So as I get right back here, this is currently my Lorcana collection. So but they're not like properly organized, which hopefully we're gonna fix right now because I just went to my local card store and I got this another 360 page binder. It holds 360 cards in Genic for $60. So it's available at your most local card stores. So yeah, check them out. And this is actually I have one of these before, and they're actually good conditioning. So another type of brand I recommend is the card binders from Target, which is actually what this is. This is the card binder from Target. So this goes for $15 at Target, and right now, well, at least this one went from $16 at my local card store. So yes, these two cards, if you're getting started, like, I recommend getting these two binders. They're good. All right, and without further ado, let's talk about how we're gonna organize them. So pretty much similar to what I do with the Pokemon collection, I pretty much leave spaces just in case I pull cards that I do not have in the collection. And for the Lorcana cards, they're a little bit complicated because there's really no official physical checklist. Well, I think there is for the if you go to Ravensburger website, but they don't show every single card, mainly the enchanted cards, because just in case you ever pull one. So what I ended up finding out is there is a website called Max Illuminary, and he has physical checklists of every single Lorcana set up until Arcasia's Island. So as you see is the Azurite Sea checklist, and I'll give you a better look once we switch over to the overhead. But yeah, this is pretty much a premise of what the physical checklist looks like. And I print them in black and white so that way I can color code them so I can know like which cards are rare, super rare, legendaries. And once down here are the enchanted cards, so that is really neat to have, just so that you will figure out like which enchanted card goes with which set. So like I said, I'll give you a better look like once we go over to the overhead sets. But yeah, this is pretty much what I use to check all my Lorcana cards. So without further ado, the first thing we gotta do is let's get you out of the way. Get all these cards out of this binder. So let's jump over to the overhead. So let's just rapidly get these out of here really quickly. And that is all of the Lorcana cards that I currently have in this collection. And yeah, we pretty much got a lot. Now here's the dilemma. I only have 3 binders, so pretty much including this one. So after doing the math, I think I may need to get 4. So I have to decide like if I want to wait till I get another 4th binder. Because here's the thing, because I got these in chronological order, so Into the Inkland, Ursula's Return, Shimmer Skies, Azurite Sea, and Arcasia's Island. But here's the thing about these two sets, First Chapter and Rise of the Bloodborne. Cards are really rarely found nowadays for these two sets, especially for First Chapter. So I have to figure out like I'm going to have to give them pretty much their own little section. I'm not going to leave spaces for these cards, as I don't believe I'm going to get cards for these sets anymore. But these 5 I will definitely. But for these 2, yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with these sets, unless I come across any of these packs. So Yeah, so I'm going to decide like tonight. So like I'm gonna have to figure this out until tomorrow morning. Like I may have to get a fourth binder most likely, especially since let me bring it right here. This binder, it only holds 272 cards instead of 360 like the other two. So pretty much this holds 90 less cards. So that is pretty unfortunate. So yeah, now I'm at a dilemma of but so I'm gonna might have to get a fourth binder probably if I'm gonna do this. So we're gonna figure it out. And as I promised, here's like a much closer look at the physical checklist that you can get and print off Mac Luminary's website. So pretty much it says name on top and the release date and the pretty much the legends. So I printed it black and white so that way I can actually color code like, you know, which cards are rares, super rares, and legendaries. And it has 2 boxes next to it so that way you can like check off when you get the regular card or the cold foil card. And of course, on the very bottom right corner, this is where you can find all of the legendary cards. And I pulled the Riot one from As I See. You saw that video, so that was a really big moment. So yeah, if you ever pull enchanted cards, this is where you'll check them off. And yeah, I highly recommend getting like a physical checklist, so that way you can like really check off like cards that you pull from the packs. So once again, the website name is called Max Illuminary. So thank you so much for making these physical checklists. I really appreciate it a lot, and I hope you will use these physical checklists as well, so that way you can like track your Lorcana's cards. Several days later. Well, that took longer than I expected. So, well, the organizing thing, that went by very quickly because it's much easier than organizing the Pokemon cards because those, I had to like remove all the ultra rare spots to put them in their respective binders. But thankfully with Disney Lorcana, I did not have to do that. So I could just put them right in there in numerical order. So as for that fourth binder dilemma, yeah, I end up having to get a fourth binder in order to fit the Arcasia's Island sets. So pretty much same brand with Game Genic, just in a green color, which is really nice. It looks really, I really like these, how vibrant these colors are. Sky blue and like an emerald green. Really nice colors actually. So yeah, let's switch down into the table and let's take a closer look at these binders. Well, first off, here's like the first of the 4 binders for Lorcana, which is the official one that only holds 270 cards, so don't remember that. So pretty much what I end up dealing with is that like I'm going to omit the first 2 sets, first chapter and Rise of the Floodborn, because those cards from those sets are very hard to find nowadays, especially first chapter, unless if I'm very lucky if I find them at MSRP price. So yeah, as of now, I only got like 6 cards from first chapter. And then we move on to Rise of the Floodborn cards, which actually turns out to have a lot more than I thought I did. So I don't know, if I end up finding more Rise of the Floodborn cards, I might expand the binder to include cards from those sets. And then now we move on to pretty much into the Inklands right here. And as you can see, I haven't opened up much of those, but definitely stay tuned for that because next week, my local card store has them on sale for $4 into the Inkland cards. So yeah, definitely expect that video very soon. I might just do like a whole opening of into the Inkland cards. Alright, and that's that one. And I'll skip the second one. So essentially, because what I want to try to do is like, here's the volume 3 binder. So this one houses the cards from the second half of Shimmery Skies, As I See, and the first half of Arcasia's Island. So essentially how as you can see right here, it says I pretty much give spaces to cards that I have not yet pulled from packs. So that way whenever I do pull them, I can go straight into the binder without having to reorganizing it everything all at once. And here's one example right here. Let's take a look at the Snow White one. So in the case where I end up pulling both variants, so the regular and the cold foil, essentially what I do is I put the regular in first, and then I pull the cold foil in on top of the regular binder, so that way there won't be, I guess that's more of a personal thing where like that way I can just see like one of each card, and mainly so I can free up more space for others cards from future sets. That's pretty much my personal thing. I do the same thing with the Pokemon cards, where I put the regular and the reverse hollows into the same slots of the binder. It pretty much helps me to keep space, so that way I don't have to like won't take up so much space, so pretty much almost like regular and then cold foil. Right, so instead of doing that, I combine them to one slot, so that way it looks actually a little bit more presentable with all the different artworks, which is essentially why I end up getting into the Lorcana, because of course I love Disney. Pretty much everything. I've been a Disney kid ever since I was a kid, so now, and I love collecting the Pokemon cards, so combining Disney and TCG together to forming Lorcana, yeah, they got me. They really got me. So as you see, and now we enter the newest set, Arcasius Island, and we'll pretty much, that's it for that volume right there. And we put out volume 4 right here, the green one, and this is pretty much the second half of the Arcasius Island cards. And eventually, I think it's right here. No, right here. This is the last card in the Arcasius Island set. And then all these empty spots right here will be ready to go when Reign of Jafar comes out in May. And I believe it'll be able to fit the entire card set, hopefully. Well, hopefully. If not, then I will end up having to get the 5th binder whenever that set comes out. So damn, I don't have to worry about that for now. Not until May. So pretty much we'll be doing that until the time comes. But I'm not gonna leave y'all. If this is our Lorcana opening, so now the organization's done, I got one more thing for y'all. If y'all stick around in the end. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys without at least opening one pack of cards. So I had this pack for a while now, so let's finally open it. Right, and there's that right there. I believe we got that already because this one has bolt on it. Yep, and there we go. And off we go. So we got Spaghetti Dinner, Grandmother Fa, Panic, Matthias, Berlois, Ankala, Emerald Coil, Gaten Moliere, Beagle Boys, Rare Krong. Oh, we got Legendary. Which one do we get? Oh, nice. Bagheera Legendary. Wow, this has been there for a while. And our cold foil. Oh my goodness. 2 legendaries right here. And I think this is my very first reverse holo legendary, so that was even rare to come by. So which one do we get? Oh wow. So reverse holo Tomatoma legendary. Like good lord, 2 legendaries in one pack. And this is pretty much what reverse holo legendary card looks like on Arcasius Island. So pretty much the character itself still has that like shine to it, while the rest of the card still has the cold foil design. That is really neat. So yeah, how about that to an end to our organizing of the Lorcana collection. So now that the binders are ready to go for future openings, I'll definitely see y'all until the next opening of Lorcana. Until then, bye!